Hey, what's going on, everyone? Let's see. So it's July 1st, 7:30 in the morning. I woke up at what was it? I think my alarm went off at 4, but I didn't actually get up until 4:30. I went running for about 2 miles, and I shaved. Came home and I shaved. While I was running, and I think I walked about like another mile and a half. While I was exercising or running and walking, I was listening to Gary Vee again. That he has the Ask Gary Vee book, which is kind of like it's like a summary or whatever of the best questions that people have asked him on his YouTube. Like he has like a, or like I guess I'm not sure. Like he has a podcast and or a YouTube channel called Ask Gary Vee, so people ask him questions. Actually, I was listening. It's interesting because I was listening to a side or like a little video clip of that yesterday, and then it also happened to kind of coincide with what he was talking about today in the book. And I'm going to summarize, or at least a piece of his other book. He has this other book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And the purpose of that is, like, he's using, like, fighting language or boxer language, but, like, the jab is give out good, valuable stuff. Bring value, bring value, bring value, and then ask for a buy. It doesn't mean that, anybody owes you a buy, but then ask for it. So the whole point, and he, like, in the Ask Gary Vee video that I was watching, he was talking about, or like he was answering a question from a guy who was sitting in his office, and the guy was asking how to, like, kind of like how to find a mentor, how to build your personal brand on social media, and he was talking about that same thing. Just give out valuable content. If you don't have valuable content, maybe curate valuable content. Actually, that might have been in the book, but still, it's the same thing. Like, the whole point is to try to give out that valuable content first. And this, a little bit, I mean, we didn't do this on purpose. We did it because we didn't want to keep spending like $300 a day on Facebook ads that we didn't know if they were working. But that's kind of why we switched over to just like the YouTube free model that we're doing. The goal is to give out valuable content, and hopefully people get value from it, and then we can grow our audience and our personal brand. Maybe, I don't know, I don't like to say it like maybe we can monetize that later, but maybe we could sell better courses, or we could grow that into something bigger. But the point is to give out valuable content. And this is kind of related to what I always talk with about jobs. Like, should you take an unpaid internship? Should you work on weekends? Now, I'm not saying, work every single weekend, but one of the things that you should look for, you should realize, this is me as well, I'm always giving myself my own advice, like, recognize how much you are actually getting out of this equation. And maybe that's like a longer term gain, but giving stuff away, giving up your free time, doing an unpaid internship for exposure. Actually, Gary Vee talked about this exact same thing. Like, should you take an unpaid internship? He says, well, if you're somebody who can get paid for that job, so, somebody who's been programming for 3 years, 10 years, whatever, and you can get paid for that job, then probably not. I guess maybe it depends on the job and where you want to work. But if you're somebody who's 18 or whatever, trying to break into an industry, maybe that's better than sending out like 18 resumes a day or 1,800 resumes a day. Like, go get that internship. You're doing those resumes for free anyway, so you might as well just get your foot in the door at some company, and then you'll gain experience. Hopefully. He also talks about sometimes, I don't think this is true for programmers, but sometimes if you break into like a media company because you want to be something related to that business, like entrepreneurship and business, maybe you're just getting coffee all day, and maybe that's not valuable. As a programming intern, you won't be doing that. You'll be programming. So I just think that's valuable. I keep saying, like, I put in extra hours. Actually, yeah. I mean, every entrepreneur, every successful person, they're putting in extra hours. Even like DHH and Jason Fried, who wrote Basecamp, or like who built Basecamp, and they created Ruby on Rails. they talk about that, and they had full-time jobs when they were trying to launch that, and maybe they only worked like only 10 hours a week after like after hours while they were building that, but they still had to put in time, and that was all unpaid. But then it ended up growing into something much, much bigger. So I guess so do your best to bring value. I guess those are kind of, I guess to me, they're kind of related. If you're trying to, I mean, I guess they are, right? Like DHH and Basecamp, they didn't just say, hey guys, like, hey, internet, please give me money for this service that doesn't exist yet. Instead, they built it first, and then they said, hey, here's the value. If you're interested, then like, please pay. And so if the thing that we have, like I don't have, I mean, for a job I have that, I have programming skill. But if the thing that we're trying to grow is our social media brand, nobody knows me. Nobody knows us on Facebook. So the better thing to do is to give out content. That makes me better as a programmer, as a speaker. Maybe it solidifies my ideas. I always think when you teach something, you learn it better. So, I mean, I taught C++ for 7 years. I definitely got better at C++ during those 7 years because I was digging deep. I was digging deep into the language, and I was also having to answer like beginner questions from people who didn't understand. So I had to find that understanding. So it's the same thing if I'm doing courses on iOS or something. Like, maybe I kind of know how auto layout works, but maybe I have to look around, and it's not it's not direct in my memory because I go, oh, I did that one time. How do I do it again? But if I build a lesson on it and I have to talk about it, then then I know it better, right? And so, like, it's making me better, and then hopefully I can become a person on the internet that people trust when it comes to iOS and Android programming. So, maybe you are the person that people come to trust when it comes to, I don't know, entrepreneurship or business or fitness or whatever, something like that. But like I said, there is value, but you want to make sure, or at least we want to make sure, we're not breaking trust, right? And so that is a hard thing, since we're not marketers. We don't know how to write good marketing copy or whatever. So the best marketing is being really good. I guess that goes back to that book, So Good They Can't Ignore You. If we get really, really good, if we're putting out really, really good lessons, people will take notice, and there's also benefit in that. So yeah, that's what I was listening to today. Last night because we uploaded everything to YouTube, I was editing the playlist, and I was sharing some playlists on Twitter and Facebook. So I was trying to play around with those tools and see how those go. I also spent some time, I'm going to show you Oh, what happened? Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna finish that up. I gotta get that gear in so that you can change the color. That'll look pretty nice. And then, yeah, I don't know what else I'm doing today. I got my real job. So I'll definitely be doing that for, what is it, 9 to 6. And then afterwards, we're recording another episode of the Kojo podcast because I'm going on vacation it's for the holiday, but it's also my anniversary as well. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty full. Like always, it's a pretty full day. Wake up at 4:30. Now I'm going to bed at going to bed late. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.